So, a very warm welcome to all of our viewers from everyone here at Narayana Health City, Bangalore. So, on the occasion of World Cancer Day, which is the 4th of February, it is my privilege to have Dr. Mansi Khanderia here with us. She's a senior consultant of medical oncology here at Narayana Health City. So, hopefully today, with her help, we shall be busting some of the common myths which surround cancer. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi, Amrita.
So to start this off, I think the most important thing that we should address here is cancer a death sentence? I mean, do you think it's curable, or is it like...
So I would say believing that cancer is a death sentence is a death sentence. Cancer per se is not a death sentence. If you believe that it is so and don't take treatment, it is definitely going to kill the patient. So cancer is definitely treatable, beatable and curable, provided it is diagnosed at the right stage. At an early stage, a cancer can be totally curable. Of course, there are few cancers which are very, very fatal and we don't have much treatment available for them, but they are very, very rare. Less than 5% of cancers are not curable. Yeah, so we should always remember that cancer can be treated. It's not a death sentence.
Thank you. And the next question is cancer contagious?
So cancer is not contagious. If I had to answer in one word, no, it is not contagious. It is caused by genetic mutations within the body which cannot be transferred from one person to the other by touching or by sharing food or by sharing a bed. It is not transferable or transmittable, and in fact patients with cancer need much more tender loving care, much more attention. Yes. So we should keep in mind that don't keep your distance from a cancer patient, give them more attention, more affection.
Here you mentioned something about the genetic basis of cancer. So is cancer hereditary, and are all cancers hereditary, or?
So genetic and hereditary are related, but they don't go hand in hand. Okay, so any cancer is caused because of a genetic mutation. Now this genetic mutation may be hereditary, which runs in the family, but more often than not it is generally acquired because of aging or because of the environment. So our cells in the body, they have a normal cell cycle. They grow, divide, they get old, and then they die, and then they are replaced by new cells. But when there are some genetic mutations which interfere with the cell cycle, there is some mutation, and then there are multiplication of cells and they do not die, and they eventually form a lump or a tumor which then goes on to become a cancer. So this mutation can be hereditary or not hereditary, most often not hereditary, but about 5 to 15% of cancers are familial, or they run in the family and they are hereditary, but not all.
So when we say hereditary, we are talking about something which can be passed down.
Yes.
From mother to child or from father to child.
Yes, right? It runs in the family. That is called hereditary.
Got it. So if it is a sporadic mutation which is happening, then who can get cancer?
So yeah, we very often get this question, why me? I don't even drink, I don't even smoke, I have a healthy lifestyle, why me? So basically anyone can get cancer. The chances of acquiring a cancer increase as you grow older. So aging is one of the biggest risk factor of cancer, and it also depends on the individual risks like lifestyle, like whether they smoke or not, whether there is a cancer history in the family, whether there is and whether there is any exposure to any carcinogens from the environment which we may not be aware of. So lot of time when we do not know why this cancer has happened, it's generally because of some environmental cause. So anybody can get cancer, but at least what we can do is avoid things which we know cause cancer, like smoking, and like having an unhealthy lifestyle, like eating good food. Yeah.
So there's no escaping that.
Yes. So please do not just read the lines which appeal to you.
Yes. So you mentioned about how it is important to catch it early. So how does it start? How does cancer start? What can a person as a lay person catch it early? Like what can they do?
So unfortunately, cancer initially is quite painless. So like I said, there is a process where the tumor is formed because of the mutations, And only when the tumor becomes a little larger in size, it kind of compresses the surrounding tissues and then causes pain. And many a times it may not even cause pain, it will just directly spread to other organs, and then there will be symptoms related to other organ, like if it spreads to lung, there will be coughing. If it spreads to brain, there may be fits or vomiting or headache. So very often we cannot pick it early. The only way to pick it early is to be aware. So you need to know your body, you need to know the early signs that your body throws on you, which nobody else will be able to pick up. So if there is an unexpected weight loss or loss of appetite, if you don't feel generally well, fever, fatigue, any lump in the body which doesn't go away or rapidly increases in size, if there is any indigestion, more of constipation or diarrhea or a lot of vomiting, or
A
even
nagging problem.
yeah, something which you don't know, a nagging cough which doesn't go away. So when you have these symptoms, reach out to your doctor as early as possible and help them pick up the cancer in an earlier stage. The second thing which we can do is something called as screening. So screening is a test which is done in people who do not have symptoms, okay, but it helps in picking up a cancer which is at a very early stage. So screening can be done in few cancers where we have good data. So breast cancer, cervical cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and some of the skin cancers. So just reach out to your physician, your general family doctor, and they can help you understand these tests better.
Thank you so much. So, can a cancer patient lead a normal life, or as much as a normal life?
Yes, a lot of people think that, oh, I have cancer, so I'm just going to be bedridden all the time, I can't do. In fact, we have patients who are on treatment, who are on chemotherapy, and the very next day of their injections, they go to work. And a lot of people, yes, like any other illness, there may be some time when you would have to take an off and stay at home. But there are a lot of people who have gone back to their normal lives, normal careers. We have so many teachers, policemen, doctors, so many, even some of our colleagues, they are cancer survivors and they live a very normal life. And if people relate more to, celebrities, we have so many celebrities who have come back and they are doing totally normal. Like Yuvraj Singh, he has played cricket for the country after beating.
Physically demanding also.
Yes, physically demanding. We have actresses, Manisha Koirala, Lisa Ray. We have so many politicians who have, like Sharad Pawar, many others. So I think people should look at these people and then kind of try to get treatment. And all of the treatments that they have got are easily available in India. So don't think that because they are celebrities, they go abroad and they get better treatment. Everything is available in India. Just reach out to your doctor at the right time.
It's good, ma'am, that you brought up treatment, because that was my next question. So there's a common misconception, I would say misconception, but there's a common belief surrounding cancer treatment that the treatment itself is so painful and it damages the body irreparably that sometimes people will be like, no, it's better, I'll just have the disease, I don't want to go through this chemo and radio. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so this is another very common myth that we need to bust today. The treatment of cancer is not painful. Cancer per se is painful, okay? So, and you cannot see a person who is having stage 4 cancer, see that he's taking chemo, he's in pain, so I shouldn't take treatment. So, patients in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, it's totally curable. So, you just take the right treatment at the right time, and treatment is not painful. Yes, there are side effects, but the effects of cancer are much more painful, more toxic, and more debilitating than the treatment per se, right?
Agreed. So now I'll come to one of the more newer advances here. So is there a vaccine for cancer? Do we have any vaccine?
So in an ideal world, it would have been so awesome that we would have, vaccine for every cancer. But no, we do not have a vaccine for all cancers, but we have 2 vaccines which are for cancers which are caused because of viruses. So, antiviral vaccines. One is for cervical cancer, which is caused by a virus called human papilloma virus. So, these cervical cancer vaccines should be taken in young women before they get married or before they they attain sexual maturity. And yeah, these have shown to reduce the risk of cervical cancer. And the other cancer which is a part of our immunization program in the country is hepatitis B. So hepatitis B virus does cause liver cancer if there is a chronic infection. So if you are immune, if you have good immunity against hepatitis B, the chances of you developing liver cancers go down. So yeah, we have 2 vaccines, but there are no vaccines for many other cancers.
Right. So just to sum it up, what can our viewers do to prevent cancer, to protect themselves from cancer?
So like I said, we know modifiable factors, and we have a lot of unmodifiable factors. So we shouldn't worry about what we cannot modify, but what we can do is what we should do. So stop smoking. Smoking is the primary cause of majority of cancers. So smoking, just say no to smoking. If you need help in quitting, you can take help of you have a lot of physicians who are ready to help you with anti-tobacco therapy. So yeah, you should quit smoking, have a healthy lifestyle, exercise more, take a walk in the sun every single day if possible, eat good food, wash your vegetables and fruits before eating. Very basic things. Just at least try to do what you know is healthy. And don't give excuses to yourself that, even so and so was smoking and he never had cancer, so I will not. That doesn't work that way, okay?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope that we've cleared some of your doubts, and have a good day.
Thank you.